All right, how's everyone's day? I hope it's good because today we're going to be going over some useless facts, some useless Bonelab facts. Starting, of course, with this gun right here. Did you know this handgun only has 15 bullets per mag? That's kind of crazy. That's a very useless fact for you. There's plenty of other useless facts in this video though, so strap in and let's jump into some of these facts, like the fact that you can actually see the bullet when you chamber it like that. That's kind of cool. There is a weird thing in this crevice here on Quest where once you go inside of it, everything just starts breaking down. Reality just doesn't like it when the game specifically just doesn't like it when you go into this section for some reason. As you can clearly see here, it's just very distorted, and it's weird because it almost thinks that you're inside of a collider or some kind of object or something, because that's usually what it does. But this locker here is just locked. It's closed. There's nothing in it if you fly in it with a Nimbus gun, but it will never open for you no matter what because there's just nothing in it. There's nothing for it to unlock. Speaking of going inside of things, you can actually use the Nimbus gun to go inside of the mirror, because the mirror isn't just a mirror, it's like also physically an object that you can go inside of, and it's kind of cool because you can also spawn objects inside of this mirror, and once you're outside of the mirror, the objects can be there with you. It is a little bit weird too that once you're inside the mirror, there's a weird elevated box that's like invisible or something. It's weird. The floor inside the mirror is definitely different. There's no way out of the mirror either. But again, like I said, if you wanted to spawn stuff in there or leave stuff in there, you totally can, and then maybe you can use that in some kind of special video or something if when you want to show off an object and you want your character to be in there or something, because as you can see, it's just right there. See, look at that. Bonelab came out in 2022. The first level in the game cannot be beaten while inside of a minecart. Trust me, I've tried multiple times. It just doesn't work. It's terrible. Just I don't recommend it. Another fun fact here for you. Bones do not play any sort of significant role whatsoever in Bonelab. It's a little shocking, I'm gonna be honest with you. Some maps and some levels actually keep track of how fast you're able to beat them because they put like this special timer on there, and it actually includes your friends on your friends list and stuff like that, which is also a neat little feature. You do not face against Ford in the entirety of the campaign for some reason, and I was a little bit confused by that for a second, because I was like, hang on, yeah, you just don't face Ford at all. Here you can see that Crablets will latch onto your face. That is what they do to attack you. They leap at you and stuff, and it's kind of cool. Another fact here that you're seeing on screen now as well is whenever you take damage in this game, if you get out of danger or kill the thing attacking you, you will heal. That's how you heal in this game. Another random fact, this one is very, very disappointing, I know, but there are no cats in Bonelab. Just none. There are snakes, though, because there's technically like a snake cut out in the Mine Dive level, which is weird. Speaking of Mine Dive, you actually can beat the entirety of Mine Dive without shooting a single gun. It's actually the easiest level in the entire game because there's not even enemies in that level. And you cannot eat anything in this game. A lot of other VR games will have you heal by eating items or being able to pick up these different food items and actually put them up to your mouth, and then boom, it's gone because you ate it or whatever. Bonelab just doesn't do that for some reason, which I'm a little bit surprised by because they have such a complex system here, and it's just not there for some reason. Another thing too, another disappointing fact, I guess, is since we're going to be disappointing facts right now, is you do not get stronger throughout the game. Unlike a lot of other games, you will be picking up new powers and tools and stuff like that as you progress through the game to make it a little bit easier, and obviously the game scales with you to make it, you know, a nice challenge throughout the game, but there's nothing in the game that makes you more powerful as you go through. You could argue that once you unlock the avatars, the game gets easier, and that is your level of their form of a power-up, but personally, I don't see that as a power-up. You really just don't get any stronger. Swords will still kill mobs in like one hit regardless, and so that's a bit disappointing. As you can see here, you can actually hit or shoot these different vending machines to actually have the items jump out at you. The pill one in particular is interesting because you could kind of do like a little mini game here. You can do like a little bit of a skeet shooting thing here. You can throw it on its side, or even just leave it here sitting how it is and just shoot it, and then try to shoot the bottle before it hits the floor. It's very fun. Omni projectors will shoot at null rats. They seem to shoot at a lot of things, but they really don't like null rats for some reason. There's 3 ammo taps in the game. There is heavy, medium, and light. No matter what you do in a sandbox level, you cannot actually save the state of that sandbox level. If I build a crazy house out of random objects in the game, there is no way for me to actually save those objects in that position. Every single time you load up the sandbox, it will be the same way it was when you first loaded it for the very first time. The map Tuscany was actually also in Boneworks. Some of the different dev tools actually have a crystal inside of them, and they seem to do different things, which is kind of interesting in the terms of lore aspect. Obviously, you have the spawn gun, which has many different colors inside of it. That's what the crystal looks like. It just has a bunch of different colors, and so it can do many different things, and that makes sense. But when you get to some of the other ones, like the suction cup things that will allow you to manipulate gravity or stick to walls and stuff like that, they seem to have this orange crystal thing inside of them. But when we go to, of course, stuff like the tape gun or board gun or whatever, it doesn't have any crystal, which I thought was weird. The constrainer also doesn't have any crystals, which is also a little bit weird, but maybe there is a crystal somewhere inside there and we just can't find it. But now when we go back to the dev manipulator, it is also very similar to the suction cups and the other dev tools that include gravity and stuff like that, which I find interesting because its crystal is also orange like those, and so maybe there's a connection to it. Maybe orange crystals in this weird universe seem to affect gravity in different ways, and that's just how it is. The only way to start the very first level of the game is to kill yourself. No matter what you do, even if you use the Nimbus gun to glitch through the map and go all the way to the bottom, there is an invisible cone around you that you cannot surpass. Even with the Nimbus gun, when you enter no clip, you cannot get past this invisible barrier. It is physically impossible. Nullbirds can't be spawned with the spawn gun. Nullbirds used to actually affect your body changer and make you switch to random avatars whenever it hits you. Moonbase didn't used to have the jump pads scattered about. Every single map has floors, ceilings, and walls around it. Even if you can't tell they're there, they are there. If you get a Nimbus gun on any map and fly straight up, you will eventually hit the ceiling. And finally, most disappointingly of all, there is a promise of 2 years of updates, and we've gotten basically none. But on that sad note, I would like to say that the video is over. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this video or this channel around, as I greatly appreciate it, and it's the best way to get more of this kind of content. I have plenty of other VR-related videos for you guys to check out, so I highly encourage you guys to go check those out, including some Bonelab speedruns and all kinds of wacky Bonelab challenges. But for now, do any number of those things that I mentioned previously, and please, please, please do remember, most importantly, to stay asleep.